The little boat rocked back and forth just like the scared and hopeful feelings inside everyone on board. Families huddled close, their faces showing both worry and a tiny bit of hope. They were leaving Ethiopia, their home, for the chance of a better life in Europe. A young boy, almost a teenager, held his mother's hand tightly. He didn't really understand how dangerous the trip was, how risky it was to trust the man who promised to get them there safely. All he knew was that his family was chasing a dream of a future without being poor. The ocean seemed to go on forever. Days and nights blurred together, the sun was hot during the day and it got very cold at night. There wasn't much food or water. Every little bit was important. The boy saw how desperate everyone was, how tough they were, even though things were so hard. He saw the fear in his mom's eyes, but also a little spark of hope, a belief that all this would be worth it. When they finally got close to Europe, everyone felt so relieved. They had made it. They had lived through the dangerous trip. But they didn't know that their problems weren't over. The dream they held onto so tightly was about to be tested in ways they couldn't imagine. They were entering a new world, a world where they would have to work very hard to build a new life. The boy, young and hopeful, looked at the sunset. It felt like an ending and a beginning all at once. He didn't know what would happen next, what would be hard about this new place. But he knew one thing for sure. He wanted to make his family proud, to make their dreams real. Europe was nothing like the boy's home. Everything was different. The sights, the sounds, even the smells. Tall buildings replaced small houses, busy streets replaced dirt roads, and lots of new languages filled the air. Everything felt strange and confusing. He felt like an outsider trying to understand a culture that was so new. School was really hard. Not speaking the language felt like a giant wall between him and his classmates and teachers. He couldn't understand the lessons or tell anyone what he was thinking. The other kids, with their different ways and sometimes mean words, made fun of him. He felt lonely and all alone in trying to fit in. His family also had a hard time. The jobs they found didn't pay much, like cleaning offices or working long hours in factories. The money they earned was barely enough for food and a place to live. The dream of a better life felt far away, replaced by just trying to survive. Even though things were hard, the boy didn't give up. He held on to the hope that had brought him across the ocean, the hope of a better future. He knew that getting an education was the most important thing, the only way to escape being poor. So he kept trying, studying for hours and hours, working hard to learn the language and do well in school.